Hello everyone and welcome to the Week 2 battle for the PCL Season 2. Your New York Empoleon did what we always do and lose in Week 1 as per the usual, but we were taking on Mike and his amazing team of Cure and Black with webs, so I'm not too worried about it. I think we can bounce back here in Week 2, so naturally I brought some of the funniest things I've ever seen for a team of my own creation. For those who don't know, I actually built this team for the most part during my TTM stream. We are taking on Danza Crobat for the win, the coach of the Los Angeles Nidokings and a member of the Token Minorities this week. So being a pseudo member of the Token Minorities as their streamer, I thought it'd be fun to build for Danza while I was streaming for the Token Minorities, which if he's watched the video, which I don't think he has, then he will have information to pretty much all of my sets. Which is fine. I really don't care that much. I think it's funny. But anyway, this is the team that we are going to be facing this week. It is Thunderous Eye, Hippowdon, Darmanitan, Alolan Muck, Comfey, Go-Goat, Deoxys Speed, Excadrill, Terrakion, Cofagrigus, and Mega Blastoise, with Go-Goat and Excadrill being as possible Z users. Now, what I see there is Excadrill in Sand. That's the first thing that stands out to me. The rest of this isn't so much a sand team, so much it is just generally a decent team with some awesome offensive options that I would love, including Terrakion, which I've used before, Cofagrigus being a more bulky option, Darmanitan's one of my favorite mons, and I do think Go-Goat has, the last time I faced Go-Goat was against Azo, and we all know how that went, so we've got some real opposition facing us this week. So what did we bring to counter it? Well, we're going to start off with a huge power, Adamant, Choppleberry, much bulkier Diggersby than before, Earthquake, Quick Attack, U-Turn, and Ice Punch. Ice Punch there to cover the Thunderous switch in, since Thunderous with the Focus Blast doesn't OHKO me, since I do have the Choppleberry. HP Ice is scary, and if he gets off a Nasty Plot, really scary, but Ice Punch plus Quick Attack should take out a Thunderous, no problem. Ice Punch also covers the Hippowdon and the Go-Goat, where Earthquake is something that's not going to do a ton of damage. Although against the Go-Goat, I do Speed Tie with it naturally. I do have a little bit of speed investment, but if he's running a speedy Go-Goat, then he would outspeed me, and I can U-Turn out unless he gets the attack off first. And U-Turn is going to be pretty good against things like Deoxys, against possible switch-ins like the Cofagrigus to try to get rid of my huge power, since if I don't have huge power, I have basically no attack. And so U-Turn is there for that option as well. Not to mention, good utility to have this week. Next up, we have Infernape, which is going to be Choice Scarf, Infernape, U-Turn, Mach Punch, Earthquake, Close Combat, with Iron Fist for that Mach Punch. That's really there for the Terrakion and the Excadrill if he does get the Sand Up, giving me super effective stab against both of those. Scarf is there because I do outspeed everything on his team while I'm Scarfed. That isn't if it itself is not Scarfed, including with the speed investment that I have, the Deoxys Speed. And so I am able to take out that thing, or maybe not take it out with a U-Turn, but at least chunk it with a U-Turn and not have to risk too much. This is a pretty good lead in my opinion. It can't really do anything to Deoxys Speed. It just U-Turns out, and then he gets his hazards up, which is a problem. But otherwise, it's a pretty good lead against Deoxys Speed. Next up, we do have Virion, the Metagross. Impish, it's going to be defensive this week. Max HP, a lot of physical defense, and then a little bit of attack investment. No speed investment this week. I thought about it. I thought about being like, maybe I should try to outspeed a Mega Blastoise, and then I was like, yeah, don't really care. Stealth Rock, Reflect, Toxic, and Earthquake. This thing is a mono attacking with Earthquake Metagross, so things that it would normally switch into that it really doesn't actually handle, like the Comfey, that's going to be interesting. Although Toxic is a pretty good move against his almost entire team, and things that can switch into a Metagross like a Go-Goat, defensive Go-Goat, or a Hippowdon, really don't want to be Toxic. Mega Blastoise is another thing that comes to mind. And I can get the rocks up, I can Toxic, and then Reflect is there to help my team handle some of his threats later on. Now, obviously, his Thunderous Eye is perfectly safe against this, but if he doesn't know that, if I could be running something like a Rock Slide, something else, I don't even know what this thing, just like Scarf, Zen, Headbutt, who knows, and his Thunderous Eye isn't safe, then he can't necessarily switch that in, but it is a pretty safe switch into this most of the time, and it can get off a pretty free Nasty Plot, which is terrifying, but we'll deal with it, as we have to do. Next up, we have Azura the Vaporeon, and this is where the team gets a little bit more interesting. Rain Dance, Rest, Toxic, and Scald is going to be the set this week. Yeah, we're running Hydration, Rest, Rain Dance, Vaporeon. Scald in the Rain actually hits his entire team incredibly hard. The only thing he can switch into this that's going to actively resist that is the Go-Goat. And I can switch out on the Go-Goat, and that's fine. So this thing really does work against his team, and if he tries to Toxic me and I set up the Rain Dance, well, I'm not even Toxic, let alone I can rest at any point during the next 5 turns, and then Scald is doing a decent chunk of damage. He has no water immunities on his team, and then he can't safely click Scald until he realizes that I'm Hydration, obviously, with his Mega Blastoise. So that's going to be super interesting. I'm curious to see how this Rain Dance team goes, because we are also running Rain Dance Thundurus Therian form. Unfortunately, this is not gen quite correctly. I forgot to put it at to level 100, which is what it would need to be in order to have to be Hyper Trained. And so it's going to have slightly lower attack and defense, and by that I mean 30 in attack and defense instead of 31. But it's not a big deal. The Ivy isn't going to be like significantly hindered by my Hidden Power Water, which is going to pair with the Rain Dance really well, and Volt Switch and Defog obviously there for the Deoxys Speed, setting up trying to hazard stack on me. Things like the Extra Drill can also set up rocks, and I don't really want that. So Defog is a decent option. Honestly, Volt Switch, I'm okay with it, since if he switches his Hippowdon into a Volt Switch, or his Excadrill, I can Rain Dance, because I do have the Charty Berry, so neither of them can take me out with any one hit. I can take away the Sand, and then I can Hidden Power Water in the Rain, which is actually pretty strong against both of those mons. And I can defog away any hazards that he wants to try to stack against me. And the final Pokemon this week is going to be the reason we're running Rain all together. Liquidation, Rock Slide, Earthquake, Rapid Spin, Waturium Z, Swift Swim, Armaldo is coming this week. I'm so pumped. It's only week 2. I'm playing Danza. I figure we're going to have some fun. I love playing Danza. He's a great guy. 194 attack, though, with Swift Swim, with Waturium Z Liquidation. His team is so weak to water, with the exception of Mega Blastoise. I mean, nothing wants to take a Waturium Z. I mean, you go down that list, yeah, Go-Goat and Blastoise. Okay, great. He's got 2 switch-ins. Comfey doesn't die to 1 hit unless I have Rocks up. But if I can wear that thing down a little bit, which I don't think this thing is going to come in early, this is just obliteration. And if I'm going to die and I know it and the rain's going to expire or something, I can just Rapid Spin away some hazards and make sure this thing gets a little bit last chip utility in there before going out into whatever I need to. So I do have double defog this week because Deoxys Speed loves to hazard stack against my team. But I honestly think that it's going to be a blast. This is just a wild team. There's a lot going on here, and I'm super excited for what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen, but I did build this during the TTM stream and do some mocks with the TTM viewers, so shout outs to you guys. If you know who you were, and if you guys remember this team, shout outs to you guys for mocking with me and showing me what I needed to watch out for, and we'll see what happens. So if you are excited for that battle, stick around. It's going to come up. I decided I am going to have the battles right after the team builders, even with the PCL this season. I thought about changing it, but I decided, nah, I'm okay with it. It's pretty cool, and I have the TBL battles that I'm going to be uploading soon anyway, so thank you all for watching. I don't need to say that. Okay, see you guys in a second with that battle. Alright everyone, welcome back. We are here facing off against Danza of the Token Minorities, and his Los Angeles Nidokings. If you have never seen his content, or their content, I do feel obligated to shout them out at this moment in time, since obviously I am a member of the Token Minorities myself, streaming every Wednesday night from about 6 p.m. Eastern Time to about 9 p.m. Eastern Time. So definitely check out their content if you have not before. Super fun guys, a lot of good people there. Danza is one of a few really talented battlers over there. I am going to be repping the Wash U in St. Louis sweater today in honor of Jolton Sticks and I, who all went there. I did not know Jolton Sticks there, but I did go and graduate in the same class as them, so that's pretty interesting. Fun fact if you didn't know already. And what do we see? We see Deoxys, the Sand Core, the Thundurus, the Muck, and not a Darmanitan, but instead a Mega Blastoise. So, alright, where's my Darmanitan? How can I take you off of the list? There you are. And Mega Blastoise is right here, so we can pop you into your circle. And you guys can see on the screen what we are bringing right about now. Everything else is about what we expected. No Terrakion. He has the Hippowdon for the Sand instead, which isn't unexpected. It's just annoying. It's basically what it is. It's basically just annoying. That's like 100% all that is right now. So no Terrakion, no Comfey. I mean, there's some things I'm not complaining about. He does have the No, he doesn't have the Kofag. What does he have instead of Kofag that I don't have on my list right now? Oh, Excadrill. I didn't put Excadrill. Okay, that's fine. Okay. So, what are we looking at? I didn't realize I put Kofag instead of Excadrill there. So, Excadrill, not Kofag. There we go. So now we have 30 seconds to think about our lead. I think it's going to be Infernape, unless he leads with the... If he leads with the Hippowdon... Yeah, I'm going to lead Infernape almost no matter what. That's a decent lead, and I can U-turn out if he leads with a Hippowdon into my Thundurus, and best check to Hippowdon of all time. And then Rain Dance in his face, so I don't mind revealing at turn 1 that that's the way my team's going to be running. If we fight the Weather War, we fight the Weather War. It is what it is. And if he goes straight into Excadrill from there on my Thundurus, which he might do, or if he goes for Rock Slide, I have the Charty Berry, but I don't think he's going to even have it. He might Toxic, he might go out into something else. So we have options for that if need be to handle the other threats in his team. And Scarf Infernape is going to be able to deal with whatever it needs to deal with. So Bob Ross is the Deoxys, and we are underway. Good luck to my opponent, and let's see what we're dealing with. So Deoxys Speed has base 90 in its defenses, so U-turn's not going to kill, and he can set up one layer of shenanigans against me. Nothing else is going to kill either, so U-turn's going to be my best play. I do outspeed. I do reveal that I'm Scarfed, unless he's Scarfed Deoxys, at which point, well, that's really fast. You know? I don't know what else to say about it. It's just really, really fast. And I am able to go out into probably Thundurus or Metagross at that point. He might have the Fire Punch, but I don't necessarily see that. I think this thing is going to try to set up hazards against me. That seems to be what's tempting against my team, and Thundurus can defog away any rocks or spikes that he tries to set up, and I don't think he can take me out with any one hit, since his special attack is only base 95, and his physical attack as well, if he does go for like an Ice Punch. But if he has like Psycho Boost, we can you know, do the calcs. Psycho Boost, max special attack, modest. Yeah, even Psycho Boost from max special attack modest, if he's not like item boosting, doesn't kill my Thundurus. So he's gonna switch out. He does not want to deal with a potential Scarf Infernape. He's gonna go out into Kaz, which is the Hippowdon. Okay, are you Rocky Helmet Hippowdon? We are gonna get Sandstream in my face right now, which is pretty much fine. I said I could go out into Thundurus at this point, which I'm not against doing. It's immune to the stab earthquakes, and it can set up the rain instead of the sand. I could also go Vaporeon and go for Toxic, since if Excadrill does come in, Vaporeon can handle that. And I think that is arguably the best play, is going Vaporeon here and clicking Toxic on whatever he wants to switch in. And if it's the Excadrill, we just go for a Rain Dance the following turn, or we could Rain Dance here. I could theoretically just straight Rain Dance. I'm curious what you take. He can't go into Excadrill at this point. Hippowdon in the sand is going to take 70% from an uninvested Scald if he's not specially defensive. And he can't go Hippowdon. He has to go Blastoise. He can't go Hippowdon. He either has to Toxic here, or he has to go Blastoise or Thundurus. I'm going to click Toxic. I don't see him going Excadrill straight up. That play would be out of this world if he does it. If he's Lumberry Excadrill, he could do it and take one Scald, but even then, it doesn't OHKO me in Sand. Let's see, like, Adamant Groundium Z. That would be his strongest attack against me, and that doesn't even OHKO me because I'm maxed physically defensive, so I don't think he'd do that. That would be a bold play, so we are going to get the ability to click Toxic here on whatever he wants to switch into me. And if it's Thundurus, I can go into my own Thundurus. I don't have to reveal the rain quite yet. Obviously, he's going to still think that I'm Water Absorb because of the fact that he has the Mega Blastoise on his team and stuff like that. Also repping the Washington University Cup as well. Hard Excadrill, do it. Gino's the Blastoise. Yeah, we're going to go for Toxic here. And now the Sand is chipping his own Blastoise down at this point. He's probably going to click a Toxic of his own. That wouldn't surprise me. And we are able to... I mean, this thing can't really touch Vaporeon either. He can... I mean, again, Toxic of his own is probably his best play against Vaporeon. I don't mind the Sand chipping down the Blastoise, to be perfectly honest about it. I could go out into my Thunderous if I wanted on the Mega Blastoise. Blastoise, Mega. If he goes Water Spout, which would be a bold play because he probably thinks I'm Water Absorb, that would kill me. If he's max special attack modest. But otherwise, I'm pretty free to go into Thunderous. I don't see him clicking Ice Beam. It could be a Toxic. Is one definite play. He could double out as well at this point into Excadrill, since it's unlikely that I Scald. And so I could set up the Rain. Because if he goes Excadrill, then he's not fast. Yeah, let's do it. You know what? That's what this team is designed for. Let's do it. Let's do it. He's going to Mega Evolve. He's probably going to click Toxic. He should outspeed me no matter what. And we're going to see what he clicks here. There's the Toxic. That's fine. Pretty predictable, honestly. I could have gone Metagross there and just dealt with that. But we're actually going to reveal the Rain Dance here. And reveal that we are Hydration Vaporeon at this point. And he is going to have to deal with breaking down a Vaporeon that is going to be very difficult for him to break down. Little bit of toxic damage coming off on the Blastoise as well. Oh no, I just realized at this moment in time that I don't have myself recording the in-game sounds. Curses! Well, first 4 turns, no in-game music, so there's going to be something playing in the background, and then it'll come back. I just realized it. My bad, guys. So he can't Toxic again. He can now Scald or something if he wants to, but I don't see that doing a ton of damage to me, to be honest. I don't really want to go into anything on this, though. This thing does handle pretty much my entire team outside of Thunderous. So I'm going to click Scald of my own. Chip damage is chip damage. He's going to switch out into Hippowdon, possibly. Jolt is the Thunderous. Okay, so I don't think he was predicting me to bring Rain this week, if we're being perfectly honest. Scald in the Rain does a decent chunk of damage. No burn. He could Nasty Plot at this point. Certainly could. But I think my best play is going to be either going out into my Armaldo or my Thunderous. And I think Thunderous is the better option. I could go out into Diggersby. Diggersby is a slight risk, but not a terribly big one. Since it's not vital to me winning this week, it is helpful, but it's not vital. And Ice Punch can kill if he gets to +2, like if he Nasty Plots, then HP Ice has a role to kill the Diggersby. But otherwise, if he goes for an Electric type attack, that's fine. I do have 2 Electric immunities, so I don't see the Electric type attack being... And they're both weak to Ice. So he could just straight HP Ice. That's definitely an option that he could run behind. But if he straight HP Ices without anything, there's only a 16% chance of 2-hit KOs my Diggersby anyway. So we're going to go into Diggersby here. And if he goes with the Focus Blast or something with the crazy prediction, that's okay too. We are going to be able to get Diggersby in here. And he's just going to straight U-turn. That's alright. That crits me too, of course it does. What are you going to go into at this point on my Diggersby? You can't bring in Excadrill at this moment because the sand isn't up. Could go Mega Blastoise potentially, but I can U-turn off that. I don't think he's going to be running Speed Investment, and I do have a little bit to outspeed him if he's not invested. He could go Deoxys, I guess, if he wanted to. Could go Muck, which I outspeed. Hippowdon, which I outspeed. How much am I doing to Hippowdon with Ice Punch? Because that's what I expected to come in. That's a Hippopotas. Wow. Yeah, kill it. 1 hit. Hippopotas. 40%. He's doing about 40% with Earthquake as well, since I assume he's not invested. He could set up his Rocks here, but I have answers to Rocks later, so I can Ice Punch, and if he goes into his Excadrill, that's fine. Earthquake's doing exactly the same amount as Ice Punch, honestly, but Ice Punch has a chance to freeze, so why not? Not to mention it hits the Thunderous as well if he does decide to switch that in. So we are going to get the Ice Punch off, which does 40% about, and he gets his Rocks up. Okay. Are you Leftovers? Yes, Leftovers. Okay, so we see that. That's fine. I was about to do something and I do not remember. Oh, I was going to turn the HP bar on so that we could see how much damage that did. Now, last time in the ICBA, if you guys all saw, my HP bar got all knocked out of place, which wasn't great and cost me like my ability to understand the way the world worked. This time, that isn't the case. So that Ice Punch did a decent chunk of damage. We're looking at about 40% plus the leftovers. So yeah, he's pretty much max physically defensive, which is fine. We can do another one of those pretty freely. He could go Mega Blastoise, but I'm not super worried about it. I could go Earthquake here, which does exactly the same amount to this. Just doesn't hit the Thunderous on this potential switch in to the Thunderous. But I don't... If he goes Thunderous after I just clicked Ice Punch, I'd be shocked. So yeah, we're going to go Earthquake here. And he could stay in, he could Toxic. Definitely an option he could roll with. I'm not overly worried about it. Yo, did we just crit him? Did we just crit him? We just crit him. Slack Off gets him back up a little bit, and with the Slack Off, I might as well click Ice Punch, since he's getting back as much as I'm doing, even with the crit. He's actually back to the exact... I did exactly 50% pretty much, so we are going to be able to just click Ice Punch here. If we get the freeze, great, and if we don't get the freeze, then he gets a little bit healthier. But he's really not gaining that much, and he's losing turns of sand this way. And so I don't really mind him slacking off, honestly. We're just going to get out of the sand and not have to deal with the chip damage, which is great. And I can keep clicking Ice Punch because his only switch into Ice Punch is a Mega Blastoise, which doesn't look like it's about to come in. And if it does, I can click U-turn on that and go out into my Vaporeon, which can always pretty freely switch into a Mega Blastoise at least once, go for the Rain Dance, and then go for the rest. And be able to deal with pretty much whatever he wants to throw at me. If I don't think that that's the best option, since it may 3-hit KO with a Dark Pulse, I don't think it would 3-hit KO if it goes for any Water-type move at all first. I doubt it'll 3-hit KO. If he's max special attack, he will 3-hit KO with Dark Pulse. If he's not, then he doesn't, even from the range, even after rocks. And so I can just go into Vaporeon and get the Rain Dance back up. So no freeze, he goes for the EQ. So he wants to take me out at this point. He's not going to take me out, but we are going to take some damage. Earthquake and Slack Off. And at this point the sand is gone, so I have a pretty free switch. I can just U-turn out. He's probably going to Slack Off one more time. But I can go into my Thunderous here and deal with that as needed. So the Tropical Berry is not going to come into play this match. Not a big deal. We're going to go into Thunderous here. We can set up the Rain if we want. And we can Defog, which is probably the better play. So what is he going to go for here? He slacks off, as expected. If I set up the Rain, he's probably going to switch out, to be honest. To Hippowdon. HP Water outside of Rain is doing 50%. In Rain is doing 80%. So yeah, we can click Rain Dance, or we can click Defog, since he's probably going to switch out. I don't know what he can do to me. He might be able to Toxic or something, but I'm going to click Rain Dance, and if he does switch out, then I can Defog. I don't think he has anything that immediately threatens me to the point where I can't Defog. Since Deoxys Speed isn't... I mean, yeah, Psycho Boost if he's max offensive Deoxys Speed, but you don't lead max offensive Deoxys Speed. So he's going to switch out. He's going to go into Kara. Kara is the Muck. So I can Defog on the Muck. That's pretty free. And the Rain is up. And I could Volt Switch as well. And I can go... I could go out into my Armaldo at this point. Although I'd rather Defog, I think. So I'm going to Defog. Probably would have should have Defogged first. Ah, yes. Then I could have just Volt Switched and not had to Rain Dance. But that's okay, because I don't think I needed the Rain Dance right now. But that's fine. We're going to Defog away the rocks. And we are going to be able to Volt Switch the following turn. And what are you going to go for? Knockoff? Well, my Charty Berry's gone. But that's alright. It was allowing me to take one hit anyway, so that's fine. And we are going to be able to Volt Switch at this point. And no matter what he wants to do, Vaporeon's free. My Armaldo is reasonably free since it's a Z user. It has EQ, and I still have 3 turns of Rain left. So that's going to be a chunk. Very little, so he's probably specially defensive. Where's my Armaldo? Armaldo to Muck. Earthquake has a really good roll here, so I'm going to go into Armaldo. You know what? Why not? We get in. He can go for a knockoff here, but it's not going to do anything because I am in Armaldo holding a Z item. And I could go for a Waturium Z, which doesn't kill the Muck from here, so I might as well just EQ. And if he does go out into the Thunderous, I outspeed it, and I can Waturium Z that thing. So this should allow me to get a kill. If he goes into Hippowdon, I just click Waturium Z, and I don't really care, because he'll get rid of the rain, but I still outspeed a Hippowdon. So I should, because I'm running a decent amount of speed in this thing to make sure I outspeed Thunderous with the rain up. So we are going to be able to get this thing some action right now, and then I can switch it out and bring it back in later as well. He shouldn't go Drill. He could go Deoxys. He could go Mega Blastoise. Mega Blastoise is a decent option for him to not like die to any attack right now. But Earthquake's still doing 40% to a Mega Blastoise plus Toxic plus another Earthquake. Should take it out. So we are looking to be in pretty good shape to get a kill here. This may not one-shot the Muck, so he may be able to stay in, go for a Poison Jab. But he's going to switch out. If he goes Thundy, I just Waturium Z. Kaz comes out. That is the Hippowdon. So he's going to get rid of my Sand, or my Rain, I mean, which is fine, because I do have the speed to outspeed. I don't think he's going to be running a speedy Hippowdon. Technically, naturally outspeeds me, but I'm not too worried about it. And then I can click Waturium Z at this point, and potentially just straight take it out. Although, maybe not from that range, but he's probably going to set up his Rocks, because he'll probably expect me to switch out. EQ's not going to kill, so we're gonna Waturium Z. I burn it on when I don't have the rain up, which is annoying. If I had Stealth Rock on this thing, not Stealth Rock, Rain Dance on this thing, I would have just clicked it. But we are gonna go for the Z Liquidation, which I'm really excited to be using this team and see that it's actually like putting in work. I might lose this battle, but I'm having a lot of fun right now, so we're going to roll with what we got, and that does not quite take him out. He probably didn't slack off. He Stealth Rocked, yeah, so I don't really care about the Stealth Rock. Rapid Spin obviously doesn't take him out from there. I can go for a Liquidation here for free, since he's dead if he stays in, and if he goes... I could also Earthquake, since I do switch out on the Thunderous. I could Earthquake, which would kill from there on this thing. But Liquidation's safer. He could go Blastoise. But I'm going to switch out on the Blastoise into my Vape. I don't think he lets this thing die right now. But I can't let him slack off. There's no reason to let him slack off. So, I mean, Liquidation's free. He doesn't go Excadrill. He could either go Thunderous, which I don't think he wants taking the damage, or Blastoise. And the question is, if he goes Thunderous, I go for EQ, or Liquidation. If he goes, or Rock Slide, actually. If he goes Blastoise, I go Earthquake. What do I want to do? I honestly think Blastoise coming in is less threatening than Thunderous, because I have a better switch into Blastoise than I do to Thunderous. So we're going to go Liquidation here. And if he lets this thing go down, which he doesn't, then, yeah, Blastoise comes in, but I guess can go into Vaporeon at this point. So, could have made the prediction there, but I didn't, which is totally fine. And we get the defense drop, and I don't think we outspeed this thing, but he's down to 50% with a defense drop. But I don't believe, we don't naturally outspeed this thing, so unless he's running a minus speed nature, which I don't see why he would be, we're not going to outspeed. But Earthquake has a roll to kill at that point, which is crazy. Rock Slide actually is a guaranteed kill after the poison, which is amazing. It's absolutely out of this world. So we do have the Rapid Spin. I do want to use it so that my Thunderous can come back in one more time, since we are under 25%. But that would potentially mean that I'm sacking off my thing right now, and that's not the plan. So we're going to go out into Vaporeon. And I know I take 25% the next time that this thing comes into play, but that's fine. Vaporeon comes in. Whatever you click isn't going to do a ton. Scald. Nah, we're okay. No burn. We see that he's faster, that's fine. I'm going to go for Rain Dance, and then I'm going to go for Rest. He could switch out into the Hippowdon on the rest if he wants to be that guy. Rain Dance is 100% the play, and then it's a matter of whether or not I try to predict. I don't have to go rest right away. I'm pretty healthy. So he's going to go Jolt, which is the Thunderous, right away. Okay. And I'm going to go Rain Dance. We're going to see, how much does this do? Thunder would kill. I don't think he's going to be running Thunder. Thunderbolt. Where am I at? I'm at 176. Thunderbolt is only a 31% chance to kill if he's timid. And Scald in the Rain is doing up to 67%. Now, this thing's impossible for his team to break. So I'm going to go into my own Thunderous. I don't survive the switch into Stealth Rocks here, which is unfortunate. But it's a free switch into Armaldo once again. And that thing is going to be starting to get kills at this point, since he doesn't really have switch-ins to it. And since Vaporeon is still healthy enough, if Thundurus does survive and he goes for a Thunderbolt, then I actually can survive again. And I can defog as well, which is super cool. So that'd be cool. I'm okay with it. But it's a sack, so even if he goes Thunderbolt and then outspeeds me and goes HP Ice and kills me, that's fine. We just get confirmation that he's not Scarfed. If he is Scarfed right now, he has to make a decision about whether he wants to try to take out the Vaporeon that's in front of him, or if he wants to try to predict the switch into something else. Especially since if I do go with the Thunderous play, I die, he U-turns, he doesn't U-turn, and then I get to decide what I want to do from there. Which maybe go Metagross, sacrifice the getting rid of the rocks, instead put up my own rocks, and break the Sash that might exist on the Deoxys, or the Excadrill, and go from there. So yeah, we're going to switch out. Vaporeon's really hard for him to break, so I don't want it to get too weakened here. Thundurus comes out. I don't think I survive this Stealth Rock. Yeah, we die. So that's fine. What are you going to go for? And then we wonder if you're Scarfed or not. Thunderbolt comes out. Fine. It was sort of a free play for him to make. Now, do I think you're Scarfed? Does Scarf Thundurus kill my Armaldo? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. So, at this point, I can go into my Diggersby and scout if you're Scarfed, since I do still have Rain left. Because Diggy is important, but not that important. I still have 3 turns of Rain. So my play is to click U-turn here, and if he switches out, if he U-turns out, that's fine. Then we know he's not Scarfed for later. And if he switches moves, then my Armaldo can come in and get a kill for free, since nothing can come in on it safely, which is fine. Not complaining. So I could Quick Attack. That could be the other option. Do about 40% if he isn't Scarfed, whether he's Scarfed or not, and then see what he wants to do. But I don't really want to do that. I want to just U-turn. Give my Armaldo the extra turn of Rain. Since we are down to 2 turns left of Rain, after this, I want the Armaldo to have access to at least one of those to try to get a kill somewhere. And Vaporeon still being healthy means that if I can break down a couple of things, I can just Rain Dance, Rest, Toxic Scald for game eventually, given enough time. If I can, so that's what we're doing. So he could switch out and be Scarfed, he could switch out and not be Scarfed to bluff the Scarf, but I don't know if he's going to do that, to be honest. He's going to switch out. That makes me feel like he's Scarfed. Also, the length of time it took him to decide his move also makes me feel like he's Scarfed. And so we're going to take this thing down to very low amount of HP. At this point, I can go Vaporeon and click Rest. I don't see the Hippowdon coming in. I really don't see the Hippowdon coming in right now. Since this has been my switch into Blastoise every time anyway, and Hippowdon cannot safely switch in on this, I think he's just going to sack his Blastoise at this point. I don't think it's worth preserving. And so he's probably going to click Dark Pulse or something, and I can get the Rest off here and make sure that my Vaporeon is safe for later. If he goes Hippowdon, god tier play if he's predicting the rest. Yeah, he goes Scald. He could get the burn. That's literally not going to matter. So it's a rain boosted Scald. No burn. We go for rest. Now that we revealed that, he is going to know that his Hippowdon needs to come in on the Vaporeon in the future. But we are going to be able to go back to full health and wake up immediately. And he's going to die to the Toxic from the Vaporeon. So Vaporeon's still getting the kill. I didn't mark down that Thunder... who set up the rocks? Hippowdon, Stealth Rock. Kills Thundurus T. And then Vaporeon, Toxic. Kills Mega Blastoise. Okay. I could also scout if you're Scarfed now, because if you're Specs, then you kill me. But I don't want Vaporeon dying. That is a terrible idea. That is absolute worst case scenario. But if you're not Specs, because you're not Life Orb, I don't think. No, we saw you weren't Life Orb when you switched in before. I could go Metagross here. How much does Metagross take from a Thundurus? It's over half. That's not great. Infernape's an option as well, since I could scout if he's Scarfed or not with a U-turn. And just know for sure. And I also could just go into Diggersby at this point. Although I sort of expect him to expect the Diggersby play. This is his way to break Vaporeon. He needs this thing to be alive to break Vaporeon. It has to survive. It has to be healthy. So I'm going to go Infernape. Since I don't need Infernape for anything left on his team. The Mach Punch is helpful, but he can't break Vaporeon with Excadrill alone. And so Infernape can come in here. Oh god, why is the bottom screen... You know what? I might just post-com this. This is hilarious, but the bottom screen isn't... Oh god. I did not... Oh, he gets the para, so I don't even get to scout if he's Scarfed or not. Awesome. Well, I guess we click Mach Punch here. I don't even get to scout if you're Scarfed or not. You guys are all about to see some wonderful live editing on my video as I'm dealing with the fact that my bottom screen was for some reason my top screen, and I just now noticed it. Which is just awesome, you know? Don't you guys love when your bottom screen shows your top screen and not your bottom screen? You all know what I'm talking about, don't you? Let's see. So we're just not even gonna put it below. We're just gonna resize it appropriately and then leave it on top of that. Like whatever at this point. We're like halfway through this battle and nobody told me. Why didn't anyone tell me? Alright, we're just gonna Mach Punch. I don't know what to do about it. My Metagross has to come in here. That para is awful. Because I need to know if this thing is Scarfed or not. He's playing it like it's Scarfed. Wait, okay, can I scout that you're not Specs because my Infernape survived? Or, like, do I know if you're Specs? Yeah, you're not Specs. This is gonna do, like, 20%. You're not Specs. You're probably Scarfed. That para sucks, because I can't scout if you're Scarfed or not. But I can go, once again, same play as before. Diggersby comes in. And I can U-turn. I can verify if you're Scarfed or not. Although now it doesn't really matter because the rain's not up. So Quick Attack is going to do 40% max, it said. To a Thundurus. 46% max. Max roll kills. So you know what? Go for it. If you don't take it out, the only way I can kill this thing... well, Vaporeon can survive a hit if he's not, since he's not Specs. From full. So I could have taken a Thunderbolt and just stayed in. Which I think would have been the play. Well, no, because then I would have been so chipped down. that I would have had to win with Armaldo, and that wouldn't have worked. So, but I would still had Infernape. There's like trade-offs. There's gives and takes here. The Paris sucked. Verifying that he was or was not Scarfed would have been great, since a Scarf Thundurus outspeeds the Scarf Infernape. And I do survive another switch into Rocks. What does he go into at this point? If Powdon dies, if he goes to Powdon, he's going to go straight Excadrill. And then I let my Diggersby go down and go out into my Vaporeon, set up the Rain. So take away the speed. Powdon's got to go down. He's going to switch out. I think he's Scarfed. The way he's playing it, he has to be Scarfed. Muck comes out. Quick attack. Does a decent chunk. I'm going to Earthquake here. Am I? Am I real? Am I real? Does he go back into his Thundurus? Does he go back into Scarf Thundurus here? Do I care? I don't care. I Earthquake. I Earthquake. I just click Quick Attack again if he goes back into Thundurus. Scout out what he's locking himself into. If it's U-turn, then I just go into my my Metagross. If it's HP Ice to hit me, then I go into my Metagross or Vaporeon. Yeah, so I just Earthquake. There's no reason not to Earthquake. He's not Shukaberry, apparently, which is good. That could have been bad. And we're not going to take any over predictions there. So Thundurus, I kills Infernape with Thunderbolt. Diggersby kills Muck with Earthquake. Out comes the Deoxys. Do you get Extreme Speed? Why do I feel like you get Extreme Speed? You do get Extreme Speed. Is he running Extreme Speed Deoxys? I mean, I think I go Metagross no matter what. If he wants to start setting up spikes on me, then there's like, what am I going to do about it? On some level. Hidden Power? What Hidden Power are you running? Fire. No way! That is brutal. That's brutal. I could click Stealth Rock here. I think that's my win con, so I'm going to click Stealth Rock. If he stays in and goes for another Hidden Power, then Coolio. I think it's Fire. I mean, I'm assuming it's Fire and not Ghost. Ghost would be weird. Dark would be weird. Ground? I guess he could go HP Ground. Since he does, I mean, he gets Fire Punch, so I don't know why you'd run HP Fire. But then again, Steel types are a thing. HP Ground is better against my team in general, though. So it could be HP Ground. I don't actually know for sure. He did get a roll that is scary, but we survive. He takes some Life Orb. We go for Stealth Rocks. And we let Metagross go down. Right? Do we let Metagross go down? Or do we go into Diggersby and let that go down? I think Metagross is less important than Diggersby, to be perfectly frank about it. I'm going to go for a Reflect here, in case he switches out, but I don't see why he would. So, Deoxys S kills Metagross with Hidden Power. How much does Diggersby do with Quick Attack? Why does it do so little damage? Oh god, why does it do nothing with a Quick Attack? Okay, well, I have to go Vaporeon, unfortunately. I don't know what move you're going to go for, but if you're 252 Modest, let's check with Metagross's calc. I assume, oh god, I just gave it download for some reason. You don't have download. No. 252 Modest, Hidden Power, Fire to a Metagross with a Life Orb. Yeah, that's the roll. If he might be timid, he might be modest. The roll isn't clear which one. Probably timid. So we're gonna look at timid calcs. Oops. Timid. Life Orb. Psycho Boost. To that's Diggersby. To Vaporeon. It's not OHKOing me. And I need the rain. Although I don't know if I need the rain. Because Marmaldo doesn't even kill in the rain. Although, if I have the rain, then I can rest. So yeah, we're gonna go rain. Energy Ball. Oh god! This thing's got the coverage. This thing's got the coverage. I should have probably scalded there, since Diggersby could have quick attacked. But there's not much I can do about it now. I did what I did. And he's going to outspeed my Vaporeon. Do I let it take more damage? Or do I go Diggersby? Or do I go Armaldo? I feel like I'm gonna go. I feel like I go Armaldo here. There's no spread that outspeeds a Deoxys speed with Armaldo, even at +2. That just doesn't exist. And we're gonna take Stealth Rocks, and we're gonna take Energy Ball, and I just need him to get chipped down more. So I need to survive that, which I do. And now he's got to take an extra turn of Life Orb, which is crazy because this might work. This plan. It was flawed, but I thought it was cool. Honestly, the para on the Infernape, I think, is the big thing that cost me. I think that's the big thing that cost me. Because the extra turn of Life Orb here means that Diggersby has a chance to kill this thing after Life Orb recoil. And that's the most important thing, since that's the most important thing, since that's what my win con is right now. He's going to switch out. What are you going to go into? Oh, he goes to Powdon here. Rip the dream. Rip the dream. So we Liquidation, just to cover the possible Tornado Thunder switch in. Hippowdon goes down, so Armaldo kills Hippowdon with Liquidation. And Stab comes out, that's the Excadrill. It's gotta be the Excadrill. Ground EMZ threatens me. I'm not gonna let you set anything up. I'm gonna go for an Earthquake here. He probably just clicks any move. I should have just gone straight into my Armaldo instead of going into Vaporeon, since then I would be at full health. And he is Life Orb, and not Z-move. From an Excadrill. Life Orb, Excadrill, Earthquake does 50%, yeah. He's got this game. There's nothing I can do. So looking at it, what could I have done differently? Well, obviously I don't want to give all of my sets away in the first 2 weeks, but I do not want to also fall so far behind that I can't win a battle. And so the alternative to losing is playing with real sets, but I wanted the rain to work. I'm not gonna lie, I thought it had potential. I won a lot of my mocks. Vaporeon, Armaldo, and Diggersby with Earthquake. But I won a lot of my mocks with it, and the reason that I think I won the mocks was because, like, I played it correctly as opposed to just, like, being... I don't even know. I get nervous when I'm in the real battle. I should not have set up the Rain Dance with the Thundurus earlier. That was definitely a stupid play. I knew he was Like, I should just defog straight up when he was switched out, or just gone straight for a Volt Switch. There was no reason to Rain Dance on the Muck switch in. Defog would have been better than immediately Volt Switching, as opposed to then having to take the knockoff damage, which meant I wasn't able to become a viable Thunderbolt switch in later, which was my own fault. Oh wait, I have to click the move. Duh. But the... Oh, he goes for the Iron Head, so whatever. I'm not even going to fix that. But, yeah, so I do think that there was a lot going on. This is my fault. Danza beat me. I 3-0'd him last time we faced. He 3-0'd me this time we faced. I'm sure we do face again later on in the season, and he should expect me to bring some cheeky stuff then too. I love playing Danza because he's such a good guy and such a fun guy to play. And the Token Minorities, go check him out. Good group of guys, very talented battlers all across the board. So we're 0-2. You know what else we were 0-2? The GBA D-League. You know what we did? We made the playoffs, and I expect that we can do the same thing here. I've been 0-3. I've had 4-game losing streaks. And we come back and we play stronger than ever. It takes me a few weeks to get used to a new team for the first thing, and I just enjoy playing with sets like this. I think I had more fun with this team losing than I would have with a super competitive, well put together, constructed team winning. And Danza, though he may not know it, I did build this during the TTM stream. So anyway, I hope you all enjoy. I'm not taking the PCL as a meme league. Don't take me wrong. I want to win this league. I do, but I also want to enjoy using these Pokemon. I think they have potential, and I think I still need to unlock it, but I enjoy these Pokemon, and we've played mediocrely in the past couple weeks. We've made some bad predictions where I made the correct prediction and then played on it wrong, right? Like Armaldo saying Blastoise versus Thundurus. Well, Blastoise was the more obvious switch in, and Rock Slide was obviously the better play in either case. The problem was Rock Slide wasn't a guaranteed kill on the Hippowdon, but he was definitely not staying in, and I could have read that. Additionally, obviously, Thundurus, Defog, not Rain Dance, and then go with the Volt Switch on the Muck the following turn, since I wasn't going to go into Armaldo right away anyway. I did set up the Rain, which meant going into Armaldo, which meant taking the damage from the knockoff, which was totally unnecessary, when I could have easily gone out into something else to take that damage. Since he was just going to go for one knockoff, I would have still had my Charty Berry and been healthy on my Thundurus, and I could have gone out into either the Infernape or even the Armaldo on the Muck. Since I was going to outspeed it, I didn't need the Rain for it, and I could have just gone for an EQ at that point. And the similar thing would have happened, but I wouldn't have taken all the damage. I feel like I took a lot of unnecessary damage this time. Anyway, I'm babbling, so thank you all so much for watching. I will see you guys next time. Hopefully there won't be the same issues with my bottom screen being weird and the music not being recorded, but that's the way that a cookie crumbles sometimes. So thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Take care, everybody.